But the problem is, I don't know if it's live or not. Okay, there we go. I just gotta reply all to this email. I mean, I'm just getting inundated with like emails.
Yeah.
I'm trying to reply. And then I'm gonna put these. I have all the parents' names, emails pulled up. Alright.
Yep. You're working on it right now.
Go. Tell them check their email.
Okay.
Thank you all. Um, Can everyone hear me? Is it working now? Okay. All right. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm sending out an email just letting people know to get on. So just gonna give it an extra 5 minutes before we get started here. Sorry again about that. Alrighty, for those of you that just joined in, still going to give it a few more minutes. Sorry again about the technical difficulties, but want to get started about 6:15 or so. So 3 more minutes and we'll get started here. It shouldn't take probably more than 15 to 20 minutes at the very, very most. Okay, everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Should not take us more than probably 20 to 30 minutes at the very most. But just want to kind of go over the league expectation for parents, coaches, some changes that we have this year compared to years past, and whatnot. Just go from there. So to start, my name is Edwin Lacker. I am the athletics coordinator here for the Department of Parks and Recreation. I've been here almost 10 years now, and I've been overseeing the youth basketball league for this is my third full season overseeing it now. But I've been assisting every year since 2014. Um, Dalton Hill is the other person you may see on site if I'm not here. Um, and he's our assistant recreation coordinator. Same with me. He's been with the league for 4 years, and then he's been in the city as a scorekeeper, as gate attendant, as custodial crew. So he's been with the city for 9 years now. Some of the big dates that we're gonna go over: November 6th. So starting next Monday through Friday, we have practices. There'll be 1 hour a week. Your coach should have reached out to you with your practice time, team name, all of that information. If you don't have that yet, feel free to give us a call either today by 8 p.m. or you can start giving us a call or email me tomorrow. Um, we will not have practices the week of Thanksgiving. We will not have any practices as well from December 18th through January 3rd. That is going to be our holiday season for that we monitor with Cobb County. Um, then we will also not have practices the week of MLK Junior Day. The reason for that is that we will have games during the week. So Tuesday through Friday, you'll have one game during the week. It'll probably be around the same time that you practice, so it shouldn't interfere with your schedule too much. Our games do start December 2nd. So a month from tomorrow will be our first game. It is a Saturday, and we'll have games the next 3 Saturdays. So the 2nd, 9th, and 16th. We'll kick back up in games after the holiday season, January 13th. Like I said, we'll have games in 16th through 19th, and then the 20th, 27th, and February 3rd. February 3rd, we may be hosting an outside event that is using all of our court space, so games may be shifted. We should know more probably by the end of this week, if not next week, but it would be something you would know at least 2 months in advance. Let me see here. Picture day will be Saturday, January 20th. So after the holidays, gives you some time to get back, get into your routine with games and practices and whatnot. We're going to use the same vendor that we used last year. Um, they'll be here. They know the routine. They've done 4 picture days now for us between volleyball and basketball. Everything will be online again. You can purchase your pictures online. You can preview the pictures, all of that without before you buy it. Our tournament play, so for all divisions except for the 5-6 co-ed, which we do not keep score, we will have tournament play beginning Monday, February 5th, and the goal is to end February 10th. It is a single elimination tournament. One note is that February 10th is our drop dead date for when the season has to end. Um, if there is a lot of snow or ice dates that push us back or something, the last date would be February 17th. But we may have to throw in a Sunday here or there if we get to that point. But we should be fine. Haven't had any issues, so knock on wood. We are going to use the Mojo app again. So for those of you that were with us last year, Mojo is just an app that is used. I use it primarily for communication. If we have last minute updates, if a location change, if there was snow and ice and we had to cancel practice or move game times back, it goes right directly to your phone as long as you have notifications enabled. If you don't, it'll just send you an email immediately. Coaches use it to communicate. It's a great way to say, hey, I can be at this practice or this game, or if I'm out of town or I have something else going on. Um, that's an easy way to communicate with them that something else is going on. Um, that also allows them to communicate easily instead of spamming you with texts and emails and phone calls. It's all going to be on that app. It also gives the coaches drills. So if the team's struggling, maybe passing the ball, he can put in, "Hey, I need help passing." They're going to be and drills developed by NBA coaches, assistants, etc. So it helps them with that. There's some player cards. I believe we had that last year, but there's some new things coming down the line. But player cards, if a kid's always hustling, the coach can give them a hustle award, or if he was the player of the game, game three, he can give them player of the game award, stuff like that. Um, and I think they're adding some features where there's potential you can go live, and if you know your son or daughter happens to be in the clip, um, the the app will recognize it and automatically upload it to your account. Um, Parent code of conduct. This was on all of the um, registration. You had to agree to this, so I'm not going to go over it in complete detail, but I do want to highlight the big things. The biggest thing is your coach is just a volunteer coach, so please make sure that you treat them with respect. You treat the officials with respect. All the players, other parents, whether they're on the same team as you, other team, doesn't matter. That's the biggest thing, is that we don't want any screaming and yelling between parents, coaches, other parents, whatever the situation is, the officials. If you do have any issues with your with your coaches, talk to them one on one in private. Don't make it a big scene. Or if you're having any issues, please come. Feel free to email me. I'd be glad to, mediate, reach out to the coach, get both sides of the story, make sure that we can find a solution to put any potential issue. Um, No alcohol, no tobacco, no weapons, anything like that on school premises or at the community center. Um, Violence will not be tolerated. If there's any violence, we will suspend or expel you for the season. Um, we encourage good sportsmanship. Kids will mimic both their parents and the coaches. This is a conversation I will be having with the coaches as well in the next 30 minutes. But, you know, however you act in front of officials or parents, other parents, that's how the kids are going to act. So we just ask that, good sportsmanship all around. This is a rec league. We want the kids to have fun. The number one reason kids quit playing youth sports is because they don't have fun anymore. So our goal is to keep kids moving forward, because between the ages of, I think it's like 8 or 9 to 12, about 75% of kids quit playing all organized sports. So that's why we strive to make sure that parents, coaches, and the kids are all having fun, and they keep coming back. Um, no profanity. I think that goes with everything I've kind of said. And again, if there's ever an issue, I'm going to be at all the games. For the most part, there may be a Saturday or a night where I may not be here, but more than likely, I'll be at everything. If something were to happen during a game, I'll more than likely be there. But if I'm not, please reach out to me immediately, talk to our staff, um, and make sure that they are aware of what happened. We do have cameras at our facility, so if anything happens, we can always go back and review if we need to. Practices, they are 1 hour a week. So 6 to 7, 7:15 to 8:15, and 8:30 to 9:30. Uh, we The 5 and 6 division will play on an 8-foot goal, and they'll use I believe it's a size 5 ball, but it's 27.5 is the size of that ball. For anyone that wants to buy one for their kid and keep the goal at the right height, it's 8 feet. Um, for both the boys and girls at 7 and 8, they're going to be a 9-foot goal. They're going to use the women's ball, which is 28.5. And then all of our other divisions will use a 10-foot goal. The 9 and 10 boys and girls, as well as the 6th through 8th grade girls, they will use the same size basketball as in 7 and 8 year olds, which is the women's ball, which is 28.5. The boys 11 and 12 and 13, 14 will use the regulation ball, which is 29.5. Our officials, we are using new officials this year. For those of you that did participate last year, we did send out a survey, and that was one of our biggest complaints was inconsistency with officials or just issues overall with them. So after discussion, we started looking around. I talked to they I think it's called Next Level Basketball or something like that, but they do kids that are in high school going to trying to get to college basketball, they officiate those games. They also officiate high school. Some do college, but they also do recreation. I spoke with the director of this organization. They do. They have very similar values to what we want. They're looking for people that are trying to better uh, move their career in basketball instead of just people collecting paychecks. So we're hopeful. We've heard great things from them from other people that use them. I do have people in my adult basketball league that officiate with them, and they say that they really enjoy it. So just remember, no matter what age, especially for the younger kids, because it will get very loud and confusing for them. Let's not scream or yell at the officials. The officials are directed by us, especially at 7 and 8. You're going to see it a lot. Is there's going to be a lot of traveling and a lot of double dribbling by rules. We try to slowly cut that out so that by the end of the season there's as little as it is possible. But it is still very difficult for kids that age to dribble properly. So just be aware, like you may see the other team dribbling with two hands, but your team's probably doing the same. So give them the benefit of the doubt. If there's anything egregious, that's where we will step in. But just be aware that the officials are instructed to officiate at the level of play. So they're not going to be out there treating it like an NBA game. Um, please make sure you never approach an official because a lot of times they don't know what's going on. They may see someone out of the corner of their eye and they think someone's coming to attack them or something. We have never had any issues, but just if there is an issue with an official, if you find me, feel free to talk to me. I'll talk to them, or talk to your coach. Your coach will talk to me. We'll make sure to handle it with that. Jerseys, uniforms. For those of you that were with us last year, this was quite a headache. We are not using the same vendor anymore. Uniform order has already been placed. I spoke to the vendor. He expects everything to be here plenty of time. He said everything's plenty in stock. We're going to use the same type of jerseys though, so it's going to be reversible. It might be black and white, red and white, green and white, something like that. Um, and then we automatically number those. So please make sure we don't take any requests because there's just not enough time to get that done and proper. Um, for our website, it's always going to be acworthbasketball.com. That'll direct you right to our website. That'll have a link for standings, schedules. It has our rules, our rule chart. All of that information will be directly on that page. So if you're ever, and my contact information will be at the bottom as well. So acworthbasketball.com is your spot to go for all anything you need questions with. We should have it right there. And one more thing that we want to go over is our substitution rules, because parents often don't know this rule, but we want to make sure that you are aware so that way if you maybe don't see your coach abiding by it and not playing your kid as much or not playing another kid as much, you're aware and you can bring that to our attention. So every player must play one full quarter in the first half and the second half. So they either have to play the full first quarter or second quarter, and then they have to play the full third or fourth quarter. They have to play one in each half. So if that's the case, or that's our rules. That's the minimum they have to play. Some kids can play all four if the coach has it proper. That's fine, but every kid must play two full quarters, one in each half. Now that if a kid gets injured, obviously, or pulls himself from the game, we're obviously not going to hold that against the team. and then if they get in foul trouble, so 3 fouls in the first half, a coach can pull them as well. Um, our scorekeepers, I am having a meeting with them as well right before the season starts, making sure majority of them are returning. They know these rules. We're going to make sure it's a little bit more enforced. I know that some of the complaints last year were scorekeepers maybe not paying as much attention as they should be. That's another conversation I will be having with them. But I do anticipate this will be not as much of an issue as it was at times last year. With all of that said, I know it's a ton of stuff. Hopefully, this will stay on our page. But if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask it in the chat. Um, Canellis, if you haven't heard from your son's coach, you can either email me or call our office right now, 770-917-1234. But I'll leave it open for a few minutes for questions. If we don't have any, I'll just wrap it up. Um, and I'm gonna put my email in the chat just so everyone has it. Picture date will be January 20th. That schedule will probably come out either late December or the beginning of January, but it'll be at least a week in advance. You'll have that time. But typically it's 45 minutes to an hour before your game, and it'll be here at the community center. Uh, yes, the dates we don't have practice, I'll put it in the chat too. So it's going to be November 20th through 24th. Sorry, I'm going to actually go to the slide, make it a little bit easier. So those are the dates that we don't have practices, November 20th through the 24th and December 18th through January 3rd. Um, January 3rd, I believe, is the last day of break. So the 4th and 5th is that as a Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday is the 6th. We possibly may open up the gym just for open practice for specific age groups, but it would not be an organized practice. So if you can't make it, that's fine. But it's just to get the kids back in it with just the Acworth Basketball League instead of with a bunch of other things going on. For those, someone else asked about if you haven't heard from your coach, you can call our office. I put the number in the chat, 770-917-1234, or you can email me, and my email is in the chat as well. It's elackert@acworth.org. We keep stats of just points. We don't keep shooting stats. We don't keep rebounding stats. That's it, but that just stays in the book. We don't post that online or anything like that. Lindsay, I am working on that. I think I have potential lead or two about getting a second coach for the 7A girls team, but nothing has been finalized yet. All practices will be held here at the community center. We'll have majority of our games will be here, but unfortunately we do not have the gym space to host every game every week here. So we will be at Autry the first week of December 2nd, and then every other week will be at McCall, which is McCall Primary School, which is just around the corner from the community center. Yes, I can send out a calendar with important dates and times to everyone. Absolutely. We have no meetings tomorrow I haven't scheduled anything. I will actually be heading out of town tomorrow night. So there are no meetings as far as I know, Katie. Margaret, if you haven't heard from your coach, if you want to reach out to the office, or you can shoot me an email and we'll make sure to get you in contact with your coach. Yes, William, we will be using Mojo again this year. Any other questions? Oh, thank you, Anaya. The Mojo just sent me a thing today that they will be sending out an email and text with a link to the Mojo app. They have, I just got them the roster, practice times, locations, coaches' information. So they got to enter all that information in for over 40 plus teams. So once they get all that information entered, um, they will then send out the link to everyone, but it should be soon. Canilus Mojo is a communication tool. On my end, I use it to communicate to the entire league. I press a button and it sends immediately. So if something happens, I can immediately send it to you to the entire league. Um, but coaches use it for communication, for practice tips. You can also use it to help if you want to further work on shooting drills or if you want to further work on passing drills, it'll help you with that. Um, I am not sure what the Mojo app is. Let me see. Hold on. It looks like it just says kind of MOJO and it has a little purple dot at the bottom right. But like I said, you'll be getting a link either via text and via email with to download the app. So it should come directly to you if you can't find it. Each quarter is 10 minutes long. Except for 5 and 6, they'll be 8-minute quarters. Uniforms have already been ordered based on the size that you put on um, when you registered your son or daughter for the league. You selected a jersey in short size, so that's how the uniforms were ordered, and they should be here. I'm hoping the week of Thanksgiving, hopefully maybe the week before. But you'll be getting them at practice the week of your first game is the goal. If you pick the wrong size, we'll have to do a reorder, but we will work with you through that. If you know right now that you did pick the wrong size, please email me. I'm putting my email in the chat again. Please make sure to email me as soon as possible. I might be able to change that uh, um, with the uniform vendor before it's too late. Yeah, I can talk about the trapping and double team. Let me just pull up the exact rules on that one because I don't want to get anything wrong because it's very particular. So for our 5 and 6 division, oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. For our 5 and 6 division, we do not allow any type of trapping, any fast court breaks, uh, fast breaks. So when a kid on the defense gets a rebound, we stop the game. Everyone goes down to the other side of the court. 7 and 8, um, there is no double teaming allowed. I know that. Sorry, let me just pull up the rules really quickly here. Sorry about the rules chart. Okay. Um, So for our 7 and 8 division, we do not allow any type of double teaming and no trapping at all. And then after that, every division after that 9, 10, and up, we do allow it. We do not allow full court pressing though until the 11, 12, 13, 14, and middle school girls division, unless it's the last 2 minutes and it's within a certain um, points. I think it's 10 points. So if it's an 11-point game and you're winning, you cannot double team. The other team down can, though. Um, Kids should just wear athletic clothing and shoes to practices. You know, they're going to be running around and jumping. So, no, I wouldn't wear khaki shorts or um, jeans or hey dude shoes or boots, anything like that. They need to wear athletic clothing to run and jump. Did that answer your question, Freddie? Any other questions? No, we do not keep score and stats for 5-6. 5-6 is also run instead of full court. It runs the width, so 2 games are typically going on at once. The gym is typically cold because if we don't keep it cold, it gets very hot very quickly and very humid in there. So, um, typically, whatever you're wearing to walk into the gym, that's going to keep you comfortable. You won't have to feel like you need to, it's going to be warm in there. I typically always have a hoodie or long sleeve shirt on when I'm in that gym. 5-6 will use the 27.5 pound or 27.5 inch ball. Um, Let me see if I can. I think it's a size 5 or size 7 if you're looking to order it, but it's 27.5. It's size 5 ball. So anyone that's looking for the 5-6, it's a size 5 ball, which is 27.5. Um, Dwight, if you can either call back tomorrow or I have not talked to them up at the front desk, but if you call back and just say that Eddie said during the live meeting that it's okay to start calling now, they should be able to give you that contact information. Steve, the goal for 5 and 6 is 8 feet. For 7 and 8 boys and girls, it is 9 feet, and all other divisions, it'll be 10 feet. Any other questions we have? I'll give it about another minute or so for questions. If nothing pops up, I'll go ahead and end the chat. But thank you again, all, for joining the live video tonight. I very much appreciate it. Thank you again for joining the league, and definitely looking forward to another fun season. And like I said, thank you all again for joining the league. Let's see, Alexis. We will play certain divisions. We'll play other Parks Department, mainly Kennesaw, but some may play the City of Marietta or North Paulding, depending on the teams in that league. If you tell me what league your son or daughter's in, I can give you more specifics. Freddie, coaches meeting is just for coaches and myself. So if you're a coach, then yes, we have one at 7. If you are not a coach, then this is it for you. Hey, no, Curtis, there is a Zoom link. I'll send it to you again now. Canella's for 14U. There will be 1 game versus Kennesaw and 1 game versus Marietta, if that's what you're referring to. Alrighty. I think that's about it for questions. No more questions. I'm going to go ahead and end this feed. The link should stay live. You should be able to look at it at all times if you have any questions. Um, but again, thank you all for attending tonight, and thank you for joining the league. Like I said, looking forward to another fun season. Steve, that's up to you. You, I prefer to have all coaches attend in case for some reason the head coach isn't there and you need to know the rules. But if you're busy, I completely understand. Steve, I'll get a link to you momentarily. What age group are you coaching, Steve? Okay, I think I have your email right here. So I'm gonna send that to you as well. You do have a Yahoo, so check your spam, but I'm about to send it in any minute now. So, um, check that. And if you don't have a call our office, 770-917-1234, and I'll make sure to get it to you ASAP. Coaches meeting, coaches meeting. All right, Steve and Curtis, the email should be on the way. So if you do not have it, please email me or call me back. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and end this chat. Thank you all for joining and have a great rest of your evening.